Hi guys, it's Bianca. I haven't done videos in a really long time. I am going to start a blog because I'm sure everybody knows why by now, but I am pregnant. I never thought I would be able to say those words. It's so surreal. I wanted to make a blog not only for myself, but there was actually quite a lot of feedback about people wanting to follow the whole story. And they thought that by making a blog for them to follow would be a really good idea. And I thought about it and I said, okay, why not? I have 9 months. Actually, I have the rest of my life. I wanted to make this blog also because I think it is really important to show other people what could happen, potentially happen, and how I feel, and it might help some people. I also am doing this for myself, and I wanted to make this video because there was just so much to say that I didn't know how to say it in just text or writing it on Facebook. I thought by making a video it would show how real emotions can get. So, here it goes. Last week I found out that I was pregnant. I was so excited. I was so happy. I'm going to try not to cry. It was just as if my whole body was weightless. I didn't know what to do. The first thing I did was I called my husband because we both have wanted a child for so long. Probably I have longer. My biggest dream in life was to be a mommy. I thought I was never going to see that day, not only because I have cystic fibrosis, but because I did happen to go to a GYN a couple years ago, and she had told me that it would be almost impossible to have kids. I had a lot of cysts in my ovaries, and when I heard about this news, it was hard because I felt like I was broken and that I have this feeling where I'm useless. I can't work, and I'm trying, and then I can't even provide children. It was almost as if no man was going to want to touch me because they want kids, and I don't blame you. I do too. And it was going to be hard because, yeah, there's adoption. Yeah, there's infertility treatments. But it was like I already knew that my kid was going to be judged and that people are going to say it's not the same. And what if my husband or my boyfriend at the time wasn't going to love the kid like his own because it was adopted, or it was through fertility treatments or something? So many years I was really depressed about this subject. I spoke out a couple times to people because I was being harassed, and I can't handle that subject. It just was really emotional for me. So I thought of a new dream, and that was to go to college and to have all these high awards and everything. And don't get me wrong, I don't regret anything. I do regret me studying too much because that took over my life and that made me really sick. But I didn't know what else to do, and I had to do something to keep me positive. So, when I met my husband and I fell in love with him, and we got married, and Everything was beautiful. It was perfect. Everybody knows the story who knows me. I don't need to tell it over and over again. He knew, because I had to tell him. It was my conscience to tell him that there probably is an impossible chance that we're going to have kids without help or adoption. And he was really supportive of that, and I really do appreciate that. Because I seriously thought there was something wrong with me. And I just thought, there he goes. But he said, it's okay. We can do whatever you want. I love you. And I was like, thank you. My whole family was always supportive of it too. So I was okay. We technically, I don't want to say we've been trying. We just weren't preventing it. We believe, whatever happens, happens. And we believe very strongly in God. And even at times when I was angry with him, I had to keep reminding myself, you just gotta wait. It's just not the right time. It's just give it some time. I had to tell myself over and over again. And I was in a rough patch last couple months because I was getting sicker and sicker. I didn't know what else to do. People wanted me to quit school. They wanted to give up my dreams because I was sick. I was just being pulled apart. And don't get me wrong when I say this. When I saw posts of my friends and other girls, they got pregnant and, everything's so happy. I really was happy for them. I really, really was. But at the same time, it was like torture to log into Facebook and to see that and to have in your head that you can't have kids. I cried myself to sleep so many times. I had to go to counseling. I still see counseling. It was hard. Some people look at me and they think I'm always so strong and I'm always so positive. And they forget that there are times that I break down too. And I really wish people would understand that and would understand how hard things can get sometimes. Him and I, we've been happy, we've been, working on things. We've had our rough patches, but every marriage does. This is our first year of marriage together. I really love this man. He is a great man. I wanted to have kids with him. I want to be married to him. I love my life with him. The reason why we were having rough patches was because of our emotions. We really are really strong, passionate people about things. And it is true. He really loves me. He sometimes has a hard way of telling me, just like I do. And I have a problem too when it comes to emotions. And sometimes, if I can't handle it, I take it out on him. But there's no excuse for that. But I'm really glad that he understands. I'm not taking it out on you, it's just the subject. So, there was days where I thought he hated me because I couldn't have kids. I thought there were days that he was going to leave me for somebody else because he wanted a child so bad. It drove me insane just to drive by a store and he would talk about Babies R Us. Seriously, it would anger me because it was just, he's so positive and it's like, I can't be. I tried, it's just hard. But I prayed every day. And ever since our relationship, after a year, we started talking about the whole kid subject. And technically, we weren't preventing it at all. anytime. Maybe in the first couple months, but we were both on the same page as far as our emotions and feelings and how we felt about pregnancy and stuff like that. And I was so happy to meet somebody like that. And so technically, like I said, we weren't trying, we just weren't preventing it either. Well, so this past couple months, pregnancy was the last thing on my mind. I know last time I was in the ICU, and the time before that, I had mentioned that the doctor did want to talk about transplant. He wanted to talk. Let me get this straight. He wanted to talk. He didn't say that I was going to get on the list, that I'm really this sick, that I'm just in stage CF, and that I'm dying. None of that. There was no negativity. I love my doctor. Dr. Hunt is a really good doctor, and he's extremely positive. And I appreciate all of his hard work and everything that he's doing to help me. I love Dr. Walker, too. The whole CF team at Emory is terrific. I have never met such positive people in my life, and I am so happy. Now, this past time, I was talking to a fellow sister about pregnancy, and she was telling me that it was really important that I tell my doctor that we were trying, even if I said we're not. At first, I had told her, I just don't see why I have to do that, because I can't stand the lecture speech. And she said, because it's really, really important. Things could go wrong, you could do this, and then I said, I thought about it overnight, and I had a doctor's appointment on Cinco de Mayo, and I said, okay, I worked up the courage, I'm going to tell him. And my husband was with me, so I was like, oh boy, it's really on. So, of course, I was really sick, and I was already planning on going into the hospital. But I was telling my doctor, I just said, look, we're not trying to get pregnant, but if it happens, it happens. And he looked at me, and he just was like, okay, I'm going to need you to pee on a stick. And I was like, okay, simple enough, I can do that. And he put me in the hospital. I really didn't think I was pregnant. Now, yes, before you get into all the questions, yes, I did miss my period. The whole nausea thing, it's so hard when you have CF and you're this sick. I thought it was just the pills. I thought it was just because I was sick. I don't know. And then when it came to the period thing, one of the drugs that I take, prednisone, I have a hard time with my menstrual cycle with that. If I were to miss a few doses, you would miss your period. So I just thought, missed a few doses. What else is new? But the whole thing that kind of got me worried was then when my boobs started to hurt. Really bad. Really bad. I would be crying if I accidentally touched it. And I was like, holy crap. But, so I went to the hospital. Before they even did anything, they made me do a urine sample. And then that's when they told me the next day, for sure, you're pregnant. Now, this is where we get into the raw emotions, and I wanted to make this video specifically for this part because I'm hoping this never happens to a person again, because I think it was outrageous, I think it was inhumane, and I think it was just plain wrong how the situation was handled. Sorry. So I have 4 teams. 4. I have the Cystic Fibrosis team, General Med, Infectious Disease, and now OBGYN. Okay? Anytime I go to the hospital, these are the 3 teams that I have to meet with every single day, and we have to talk about plans, and we have to talk about my care. The team that I care most about is obviously the Cystic Fibrosis team. The General Med team, they see anybody, they don't really know me. It's not on a personal level. They look at numbers, they think they know everything. Like I said, I'm a strong believer in Christ. I don't listen to doctors every single time they want to tell you something that's just so negative, because I've proved them wrong on so many occasions. For instance, my even existence. They told my mom I was supposed to not live until 10. Still here. In fact, they told her I was going to die when I was 4 because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Still here. There's been so many tribulations that I should have died in certain situations, and I'm still here. It's just, come on. What, it's just good luck? Come on. But, especially when this whole pregnancy thing happened, I had a huge prayer with God, and I had just yelled at him and everything, and I just said, I'm so upset that there are people out here in this world that get the opportunity to have kids, and the kid is garbage to them. But I can't be a mom. And another thing is, the state wouldn't let me be a mom on my own, or other several factors that I had to look into. Money-wise, our living situation, our age. I mean, they have a specific thing, and I might not be there. What else was I going to do? Well, the next day, General Med came in my room. It was just the resident. She came in, and she had this look on her face. I just woke up. This was like 7 in the morning. And she had this look on her face, and I was like, what? Am I going to die? What? And she's like, well, you're pregnant. That was it. And I was like, oh. I was smiling. I was shocked. I couldn't really say anything. I was just like, are you sure? Wow. And then she thought, okay, I don't know what she thought, actually. She's like, well, this is a problem. We're going to need to talk to everybody's stat. And we're going to stop all your meds. You can't have any more pain meds. Can't have any of this. We have to talk about this situation. Okay. I mean, you're making this sound like it's the worst thing in the world. Well, it's really complicated, Bianca. You're not the healthiest. And just like that, she left the room. She started calling all the doctors. I tried to stay as positive as I could. I called my husband. I was still excited. It was as if they tried to bring me down, but just knowing the fact that I had a baby inside me countered all that depression and just kept throwing it out. General Med came by with the whole team, and, it was like one lecture after another. And then they sent in infectious disease, and General Med were all in the same room. Not my CF team, not OBGYN, yet. They had said that they wanted to talk about other options. And to be honest, I went naive, like for 2 seconds. And I just was like, what other options is there? Because I couldn't believe somebody would even bring up those options to somebody, to be honest with you. And they just looked at me and they said, well, you're really sick. We don't think you can have a baby. We don't think this is going to work. And you probably can't get any of her meds. So really, it's going to kill you. We just don't think you can go through with this. And they were like, I think you really should consider an abortion. And just that word sends chills up my back, because no? Are you kidding me? And I'm a Christian, first of all. And then I'm not going to mention any names, because I don't want to deal with the drama. But I had told a few people, and I was really hoping that I would get the support that I needed. And I don't know, kind of got it. I don't know. But it was hard. The next day, OBGYN came in, and we talked. She called in another OBGYN. This time, this lady was she's a fetal medicine specialist, a high-risk OBGYN who specializes in cases like She did tell me that I was probably her first patient with CF that was as sick as I was, trying to have a kid. Whatever. Anyways, when we started talking, she did the same thing. She just looked at me and she said, well, I looked at your medical chart. I talked to a few doctors. I did as much research as I possibly could overnight, and I did all this work, and I think we do need to talk about some things. And I just said, okay. She goes, now you know we have to talk about the good and the bad. So, and I said, yeah, I know. My husband was there and my mom was there. Of course, the hardest thing in the world was when she brought up the abortion again. She just said, you are really sick, and I don't think it's going to work. And it was just the whole speech all over again. And as these people say these things to me, I broke down crying. You want me to kill a child because you think I can't handle it? Just like you told my mom to kill me. Or just like giving up. I don't get it. What is wrong with people? Be humane. I told her, she had said, well, is this something you wanted? I said, absolutely. She said, okay, but you're not strong enough. And I said, I don't think you know me, to be honest. And I said, it just kept getting heated and heated. And then, another person had said, well, God will forgive you because this is a different situation. And all I could keep saying in my head was, isn't that hypocritical of Christians to sit there and say, oh, this is wrong. Oh, but it's okay in your case. I don't think that's how it works. Not to mention, I couldn't forgive myself. How am I going to live with myself knowing that I wanted a kid so bad for years? I get this perfect opportunity to have one, and I decide to just kill it off because somebody told me to. Wow, that's like a big slap in the face to the person who gave me life. I was angry, and all I wanted to do was punch people in the face and cry. Because nobody was listening to me and how I felt and how much this means to me, to my family, and how happy I was. Nobody cared. It doesn't matter about me. It matters about statistics and numbers and money. Well, she said so many things to me. It was so overwhelming. Then I started to think about it. I started contemplating if she just made it seem that I wasn't going to be a good mom because of how selfish I was. Because I decided to give up my life for my daughter or son to live. That was selfish of me. When I talked to the ultrasound technician as well, actually, first, when we got through all of that, she left the room. She said she would come and see me the next day after I got an ultrasound done. Not only did she say all of that, but she also said, well, the baby's probably not even alive. I mean, we kind of need to figure that out first. And I just said, okay. And when she said that, I was like, oh. I got scared again because I don't want to know if the baby was dead or not. That might really hurt me. But I had to be strong. Like I always am. And my husband was there, and I cried while he hugged me for 20 minutes. I don't know. I hate seeing people. I don't like people seeing me cry. I'm trying not to doing this. But she left. I went down to get an ultrasound. And when I got the ultrasound, I knew this lady had, like, an issue with me or something. I've never met her. She doesn't know me. But somehow I have this feeling that she was, like, judging me. She didn't let Trincy come back in the room with me. It was just me, which was even harder. But I knew God was there. I could just feel it. And I went in there and I had told her, I said, hey, I think we both need to get comfortable because you seem like you're upset with me personally. May I ask why? She's like, well, you have cystic fibrosis. And I said, yes. And she's like, and you're pregnant. And I was like, yes, yeah, I am. And she just goes, and you're happy? And I was like, yes. Why? And she could just tell me, she's like, well, I'm really not supposed to share my feelings because it's against policy. And I said, well, I don't mind. I wanted to know what was her issue. She thought that I shouldn't have kids because I was going to die and leave the kids without a mom. And that was just so horrible of me. And I was shocked. Wow. And then she would go on about how, you know what, I shouldn't even be saying this because who am I to say that you can't have kids or people with sickle cell can't have kids or stuff like that. And I said, don't you think the greatest gift that I could ever give a child is my life for them? They would know that their mother loved them so much that they did everything for them. Sure, they would be sad that I was gone, but they would know what unconditional love means and how much they meant to me. And I don't think anyone does have the right to sit there and say who shouldn't be pregnant and, oh, this and this and this. I don't think anybody has the right to do that. I think that's wrong. And how dare people sit there and upset people like that? So negative. God, be positive. This is a great thing. This is a miracle. And nobody's even paying attention. I was so happy, though, because at the end of the ultrasound, she was a lot more comfortable with me, and she was a lot happier, and she felt better. I just have that way, I guess, public speaking. She said the baby was viable. It was absolutely beautiful. That she was actually so perfect. They actually thought the baby was going to be all weird and stuff or messed up. It was absolutely perfect. They were shocked. I got to see its heartbeat, how little it was. Oh, man. I just started bawling like a baby because, wow, that's really me. That's inside of me. I did that. Yeah, its heartbeat was 114. It was beautiful. It was a very strong heartbeat. No problems. And then, of course, the next day I talked to the OBGYN. The OBGYN felt a little bit better knowing that the baby was okay and that I looked okay. The next concern was they wanted to do a second ultrasound to figure out if I had pulmonary hypertension. Because if I did, this would make the process even more difficult. In the meantime, she was explaining to me that she had looked over all of my medicines, and guess what? Every single medicine that I take is completely safe to take for the baby. So everybody was freaking out for no reason. Instead of freaking out, they should have been doing research and facts before they freak me out. And she was like, everything is fine. She can have everything. And if there's something that changes, then we will change it too. We just got to communicate. And I said, thank you. It's not hard. I appreciate it. And when I talked to her, after that, I went down to do the second ultrasound. And I was nervous. Well, I had this feeling that everything was going to be okay. That nothing's wrong. And that they're just being dramatic. And I just have this feeling that God is there and that He's just telling me, it's going to be okay. Ignore them. It's going to be okay. And that's what I kept doing. I was just so happy. And of course, when the second ultrasound was done, everything was completely fine. I had no fluid, no pulmonary hypertension. Everything was beautiful. And she said, wow, your heart is really strong. And I said, I tried to tell you that, but you want to doubt me. And they said, we feel a lot better now. We're still going to help you. We're going to do everything that you need. We're going to do everything that we possibly can to help you. Our main concern is your nutrition. We need to make sure you eat a lot, gain a lot of weight so that baby is healthy. I said, let's do it. And of course, the last team to come and talk to me was my cystic fibrosis team. And when they found out, I thought, oh God, because I had already dealt with all that negativity. I thought, here's another day to battle. They walked in and they were all smiling. They said, oh my gosh, you're pregnant. Congratulations. We are so happy for you. We want to do everything that we can to help you. And I was like, you guys aren't mad at me. You're not going to tell me to get an abortion. And they just went, nobody would ever tell you that. That's awful. And I just said, yeah, you obviously don't know the people here. And their main concern, of course, was they wanted to try to get me better, stay better for a long time, not having to go to the hospital so much. I agreed. They wanted to put me on supplements, and I said, fine, I'll do whatever it takes to keep this baby. They added more pills. They said I had to do insulin sometimes. I said, look, I don't care. I'm going to take care of this baby. So whatever you want to try to scare me with isn't going to happen. I'm doing it. And they said, all right. They said, you got to do your treatments 4 times a day. I said, let's go. I don't care. I'm doing it all. And he was shocked because for the next 4 days, I did everything perfect. And he just was like, I couldn't get her to do this for years. Wow. And I said, well, a baby changes people. To me, it gave me a purpose to live. I was having a really hard time with that. I thought I was useless. And what was the point? And now I have to be somebody's mommy. I have to be here. I have to take care of myself so I can take care of him or her. And then, yes, I told all my family first. And his family. I guess it was okay. I don't want to really talk about that in the public. And was harder for me. I did feel kind of like some people were upset. I also felt like other people were really upset. And then I had people who were really happy. And they were like, oh my God, I knew this could happen. And it was like, yeah, me neither. So having people kind of doubt you makes you doubt yourself and makes you feel alone. Then, the last day when I told all my friends, I felt so much better. I had such amazing support. Sadly, all from friends, not family. Everybody was so happy for me. It was like, that's what I wanted the first day. And, oh my gosh, it was so amazing. I really didn't think I was going to get that much feedback, and I really didn't think I was going to get that much positivity back from people, and I did. And it was just, I was so happy to have such great friends to be there for me and to be happy for me and to tell me, don't listen to them. They're stupid. This is what you want? We're going to do it. Thank you so much. You have no idea what I had to go through, how much pain I was in, and to just have somebody sit there and be happy with me and support me made all the difference in the world. Thank you so much. And I want to say, too, that there's a lot of people out there who may not have said anything because they feel judgmental, too. But I just want you to understand something. I'm not a selfish person like a lot of people seem to think I am. And I don't want you to sit here and be like, oh, well, what if the baby has CF? I can't believe you would do that. Don't point fingers at people. You have no room to judge. We've all done mistakes. We don't know if the baby has CF. Baby could be perfectly healthy. And then what are you going to judge me on next? Come on. Be adults. We're supposed to all love each other and help each other. And we're too busy trying to push people down. This isn't healthy for anybody. I would never do this to somebody because this is another human being who's innocent and pure. It's wrong to do that to people. And you don't know what they're going through either. I want to say to a lot of my sisters out there that are having issues with same issue I was having, don't give up. Don't be angry. Just live your life. And whatever happens will happen. If this was supposed to be, it will happen. Let it just happen. Try not to get so upset about it. Because look at me. I thought I was going to be one of those people. I wasn't now. It was my time to be blessed. And look what happened. Give it some time. I know it's easier said than done. Because I was in the same situation you were. But don't be so negative. There are other things out there. And I'm sure that God will bless you. I just know it. And I guess, I know this video is really long. There's a lot of information to take in. If you guys have any questions or you want me to, have any ideas for videos for me to make, let me know. I'll do it. This is like an everyday thing now, I guess. Or try to. I know some people were asking if the baby was going to have cystic fibrosis. I do not know if Trency is a carrier. I know some people are getting confused by this. Let me explain. They are supposed to be taking a sample of his blood to go find out if he's a carrier. Now, here's how this works. If he is a carrier, obviously I'm a carrier because I have CF, but the baby still has a 1 in 4 chance. There's still a possibility you could have a perfectly normal baby. If Trency is not a carrier, there is no possibility. The baby is perfectly fine. Remember, in CF, both parents have to be a carrier for the child to even have a chance to have cystic fibrosis. So, when I find out here in a couple of weeks, we'll have a better example. But let me just get this on the table. Even if my baby has cystic fibrosis, I used to think that I would abort it and I would do all these other things until now that I'm older. I will still love that baby with all my heart. Okay? My mom did. Why should I not? And before we get into the I can't believe we do that with 2-year kid and yada yada yada, stop judging people. Let them do what they want to do. Okay? I mean, what better person to teach my kid how to do their treatments and stuff if it wasn't me? They deserve a chance at life too. What, are we just going to, every time we find somebody who has an illness, we're just going to push them off a cliff or kill them? Yeah, that's really humane. Are we also going to kill people who can't drive? Come on. It's wrong. Still going to love that baby, and so is my husband. My husband and I have been so extremely happy that we can't stop talking about the subject. And he has been amazing. Thank you guys for always supporting me. Like I said, I'm going to try to do this occasionally, but if if I miss a few, don't jump down my back. I hope this video has at least showed you a little bit of what this is going to be like and how difficult things could get. And I hope this can kind of help some people and feel a little better. And, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Good night.